Crack open that bottle of wine. Grab your favorite glass. Pour a couple of fingers of scotch in it. Get that stick. Light it. And blow. It's time to hang. With Steel, Sharpened Steel. After dark.
Episode of Steel, Sharpened Steel is brought to you by the Logo Design Committee of the Tokyo Olympics, making sure that everybody knows they're about to be infected with coronavirus since 2020. What in the unholy hell is y'all thinking putting the damn coronavirus as your logo of choice?
Coronavirus!
Coronavirus! Seriously, Tokyo? Is this what we're doing, Tokyo? We're just doing straight up coronavirus. That's what we're doing.
It's like they told the whole country of China. Like, guess what? We know you did it.
We still got beef from all.
We got you.
Yeah,
we got beef from 6 centuries ago.
Yeah, exactly.
That's like Panda Express debuting an entree Wuhan beef. Seriously,
right.
This is what we're doing. Hello, Anthony, and thank you for welcoming the Sharpies. Making it happen. Welcome to Steel, Sharpened Steel. I'm Tom Cunningham.
It's good to be back. I'm Joyce Stevens.
And I am Chuck Hobbs.
And we are Sharonless tonight, but we are all gonna lean.
Like, we're gonna give you as much sharing as we can
into the camera to evoke. We're gonna invoke the spirit of sharing. Hey, Carla, Black people. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
We missed you too.
We did miss you. That's why we's here.
Right. Unfortunately, Sharon couldn't be here tonight. She is in the middle of a move. She's recovering from a couple of light injuries, but she will be back with us as soon as she can. So we're gonna hold it down for our girl, Diva Letman Hicks. She's with us in spirit.
Mm-hmm.
That's me holding it down. So it has been a moment. How are you guys doing? Y'all doing all right? Y'all doing okay? Y'all good?
Hanging in, brother.
Now, how hot is it in Tallahassee right now?
It's hot as 7 hells, like they say it in Game of Thrones, man. I tell you, it was so hot on Wednesday, that like I was just in bad mood, dude. Like, you talk about road rage. Like, I just wanted to fight somebody, man. It was just that bad. It was sticky. I wound up having and I was sucking down a lot of water. I mean, because that's what you have to do in this mess. You have to hydrate. But even that wasn't helping. So I wound up just going home and getting some rest because it's ridiculous. And I've said for the last however many years that I really want to move north at some point in time, but hell, with the way this heat wave is set up, I guess it's bad all over the United States of America. There's really nowhere to run to and nowhere to hide from this heat, right?
It's hot in New York, son. Like, it's 100 degrees up there.
You can't even leave to go to the north for your freedom from heat.
Right, freedom from the heat.
Because it's hot as a mug.
As a mug, yes.
And I keep saying all the time, I don't know how our ancestors, and when I say ancestors, I'm talking about my parents. I don't know how they grew up without air conditioning, bro. Like it's, and I give credit to my mom. Now, my mom does not play. She keeps her house on moored. She does not play around. I definitely inherited that from her. But my dad would have been comfortable with this. He'd have been like, let those windows up and let that fresh air in. Wait, are you kidding me?
So you remember going to your grandmama's house when she had that fan in the window and you get up close to it, sounded like Darth Vader?
I could smell the mullet and the grits cooking on the stove right as you were saying that, man. That was an everyday thing in the South, in the deep South, bro. For real.
Yo, I remember one of my friends talking about when she would go down south, because she's from DC, and she would go down south, and she said they would just all like, grandmother would be like, go outside and play. They're like, if we just lay here real still, it don't move, we won't sweat.
That's for real.
And Carla is right. It was not this hot 20 years ago. I have to say, the hottest I think I have ever experienced as a human in this life was we had a Jack and Jill teen conference in Phoenix, like about 4 or 5 years ago.
Okay.
And when I parked in the garage to walk to the place where we were actually having our little meeting, first of all, when I stepped out, you know how they have those artisanal saunas that have natural botanicals, like eucalyptus? I swear to God, when I walked out of the shade of that parking structure, I felt like I was in a sauna.
Wow.
And when the next day we had the, the culmination banquet or whatever, and it was at a hotel, my thermometer in my rental car read 122 degrees. And I was like, y'all people are stupid. I don't even understand this. It is too hot. And living in the valley of the San Fernandos, as folks in the LA area will know, however hot it is in LA, it is 20 degrees hotter in the valley.
Wow.
And that sun is unrelenting. It is ridiculous.
Yeah, bro. I can't take it.
Well, so are you ready to kick us off with our very first issue of the day, Joy Stevens?
Yes. I'm here to get on the AOC train because you know I do diversity, equity, and inclusion for a living, and I've been following, much to my dismay, anger, frustration, however you want to say it. I've been following what people have been doing when it comes to critical race theory, when it comes to wanting to, just get a reckoning with history. And so, and we've been gone for a couple of weeks, but I didn't want to let this pass because AOC is my girl, and I rise for the Cortez. And a while back, this came across on Twitter. Kevin McCarthy, he was like, critical race theory goes against everything Martin Luther King Jr. taught us to not judge others by the color of their skin. The left is trying to take America backwards. And so she just quoted him. Whites, it must be frankly said, are not putting in a similar mass effort to re-educate themselves out of their racial ignorance. It is an aspect of a sense of superiority that the white people of America believe they have so little to learn. Martin Luther King, 1967, he says what I have to say almost every day when I'm teaching these classes, when I talk about the inception of white superiority, of a white supremacy, when I talk about the fact that they created the whole thing so they wouldn't feel so bad about enslaving an entire continent of people, so that they wouldn't feel so bad about making money off the misery of other human beings. Well, we're just better than them. They're not really human. Then they started to believe their own bullshit, and that's how we got what we got now. We're just better. They try to create science to prove the lies, and they never could. When I'm talking like Darwin was like, well, there's got to be something in the way the cranium is shaped, and fingerprints and everything. All of this scientific racism is what it was called, or pseudoscience. All of this to try and prove that white people are superior, and they never could. No. And so seeing her write that and seeing her clap back so much, it just makes my heart happy. But once again, and I don't have anything on it, but my home state is showing a whole natural ass right now.
Oh yeah.
Because the state of Texas has decided they're gonna go whole hog and no longer teach slavery, anything about Native Americans in a state called Tejas. No longer teach about anything before like 1905, I guess. And they're not going to teach anything even remotely related to like Martin Luther King, Ruby Bridges, nothing. It's just white people are here like magic, and we always been here forever and get over it. Six Flags. How do you even explain the Six Flags that flew over Texas without talking about the Spanish-American War, the Native Americans, the multiple fights for state independence, etc.? How do you explain Juneteenth if you don't talk about any of this? It doesn't even make any sense, but that's what they're trying to do right now because they hate to see us winning. They hate to see us even playing the game.
Can we talk about the caucasity of trying to proffer that the sum total of Martin Luther King's teachings was to not judge people by the color of their
That's
skin.
day one. That's day
Can
one.
we get
That's day one.
into, and can we unpack, flip? Can we unpack what the entire hell Kevin McCarthy thinks he is saying when he tries to put us in a position of being gaslighted that Martin Luther King wasn't also a revolutionary, and Martin Luther King wasn't a preacher who yelled. Exactly, like
he wasn't America's most wanted,
and wasn't assassinated by government agents who were
pretty much
listening in on his phone calls, trying to debunk and depower him. If you Kevin McCarthy, first of all, you can't stop taking L's. I know we got to talk about another L he's going to take. And so since we don't have a graphic for it, I'm just going ahead and drop it right off in your lap now. From AOC to Pelosi, McCarthy took a big one to the little ones this week when Nancy Pelosi rejected 2 of his boneheaded picks for the January 6th Insurrection Committee. And because he put Jim Jordan, who was literally voting to decertify the election and spreading lies thicker than mayonnaise at a Subway at closing time, on the floor of the House with his mask underneath his nose until he could pop it up on there, just talking cash lies, just lying. And you're going to be on this commission seeking the truth for what? And then the other clown who got up and literally said, I want to make sure that we're talking about BLM. Not the point. We are not doing that because BLM wasn't there breaking into the Capitol. And states have the right and ability to adjudicate and investigate their own issues with the very few moments of unrest that manifested out of the thousands and thousands, countless thousands of peaceful protests in the aftermath of George Floyd and the elevation of Black Lives Matter. So just stop.
But
stop.
That is the American way, though.
Well, yes.
If you remember the Boston Tea Party, they dressed up as Native Americans,
right?
So that if they got caught, they could blame it on the engines.
Blame it on somebody else.
Well, I guess according to Cleveland, they dressed up like the Native Guardians.
Yeah, I saw that in the news today.
So, okay, wait. I want to understand this because I saw it, but I didn't really pay attention. So, are they still going to be some sort of Native American mascot or the Guardian? Okay, so there's nothing to do with Native Americans anymore. It's the Guardian is a completely different thing.
There is an homage to the feathered headdress that the old icon, the old mascot used to wear, because now their new logo basically looks like if Thor was a baseball. He's got big wings on the side of a baseball, and the wings they're G's, but the G's are shaped like wings.
What?
Yeah.
Let me go find this.
So it was my contention that they wanted to keep the IANS at the end of their name. Okay. Notwithstanding the fact that this is the 5th name change in the franchise. So before you get all in your feelings, people who are Chief Wahoo fans, 5 times. It didn't start off as the Cleveland, that word I'm not going to use. It just did not. It was the Blues first. And then you were once named after the manager of the squad or some superstar on the team. So stop it.
Yeah.
And now it's changed again. And IANS, fine. You want to imply warriors or people who can protect or people who are strong. And so you got guard ENs. Fine. I'm glad we've moved on.
I see what you mean. Y'all, check this out.
Yeah.
They do look like Thor.
It's baseball.
Okay. Okay. I mean, it's progress. Okay.
I mean, it's not a racist caricature.
It's not a racist caricature.
And so, but
I can kind of get into it.
You can see how the way they chose the letter form. It looks hand carved. It looks very craftsy. So it looks like they were trying to, see, remember that type we used in the old thing? We're trying to make sure you kind of have some sort of visual connection. But look, this is much better than the Cleveland baseball team.
Yeah.
Which is what they might have gone with if they were going to follow in Snyder's footsteps.
Or go Monty Jones' shirt from a couple of years ago. Y'all remember?
Yeah. Well, it was Caucasians, I think.
Caucasians, okay.
Yeah.
My bad. Right.
You know what?
That would have given them the IANS too. They would have had the IANS.
See, you could have kept it.
You know what? Now, they were smart. Because right now in the Marvel universe, Thor is rolling with the Guardians of the Galaxy now.
It's the Asgardians.
They were trying to figure out how to capitalize on that.
Right. Get him a little shiny, pointy helmet or something, or a cape up on that thing. But you know what? This is good news because representation matters. Yes. And I'm just pleased that they have. This is the second major sports franchise. There are still some sports franchises that still do it, but I think the Chicago Blackhawks actually have an official relationship with that tribe. So that tribe is like, no, we good.
Yeah. Okay.
But pretty much everybody else, stop it. Just quit. Just leave it alone. Speaking of sports franchises, what the Bucks happened? Poor Phoenix fans. I know y'all were upset Clippers fans before the Clippers got cut. That all you Clippers fans were riding on the Suns, and then the Suns finally got cut. But look at this. We have an HBCU grad who is a minority owner of the world champion Bucks. Look at this sister right here. Her name is Valerie Daniels Carter. And she got her slice of the Bucks, her little point on the antler in 2014.
Hey, wait, hang on, y'all. I was wondering why we had so few viewers, and Sharon says we got interrupted on Facebook.
We got interrupted?
So, yeah, this may just be the folks from like YouTube. She says she's watching from YouTube. So, hey, if you're in our chat right now, let us know where you're watching from, because I haven't seen anything as far as a comment in like 10 minutes. So if you're still with us, tell us where you're watching from.
Yeah, talking about video has blocked because of music, audio, or video that belongs to someone else.
Right, and we haven't shown anything. So Facebook is on some BS.
Is that what it's? Could it be the Olympic logo? Do you think?
Maybe.
But I don't know why they would stop the broadcast mid-broadcast just for that. I had to switch to YouTube. Thank you, CJ.
Okay. Y'all on YouTube now. Thank you for going to YouTube for one.
Yeah, we love y'all.
Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, because we're on 5 channels on Facebook and only 1 channel on YouTube. So tell your friends, go on ahead and switch over to Steel Sharp and Steel on YouTube, because don't know what happened. Probably the Olympics. Thank you, Coronavirus Olympics. Thank you. We appreciate you. Oh, trash.
Yeah.
That's a damn thing.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. We're gonna have to figure out something different. You can watch us on Twitch. We're on Twitch too. So one of the things that I think is just amazing about this is we see that this proud Black woman has this minority stake in the Champions. We see that the Champions pulled it out for the first time in franchise history. And not the least of which things is impressive about this is that a whole bunch of people now can very accurately and flawlessly pronounce Giannis's last name, which for people who have trouble pronouncing Sharika, all of a sudden to be able to slap out Anatompa Poom Pump Tang is pretty impressive to me, because that's about 74 syllables with that Greek name. Giannis is easy enough, but what you tell me, Chuck? What Anatom
you got it, bro. You got it, Noop. you know, you're the name guru.
I am the name guru.
Yeah, man, you kill it. So I'm not even gonna try. I just call him Giannis, man. And,
yeah, see, that's the way to make it happen, I guess. Just to kind of keep it gut. Here we go. We had another comment. Child, Facebook was like, bye now.
Yeah.
Facebook, hey, Zuckerberg is a hater.
He is
Hater.
a hater.
Zuckerberger.
Thank you for subscribing and going to our YouTube channel. YouTube is friendly to us.
Yeah, it's not just Lil Boosie who hates Mark Zuckerberger.
Right. So
it's an issue. My mom says she's watching from Facebook, so I don't know. Maybe it was a temporary thing.
One of my cousins, Danielle, says she's watching on Facebook too.
Okay, so we're back. We're going to get back to the show instead of dealing with Zuckerberger.
Long as you find it. What we'll do is when we finish, because we're going to be talking for a minute. When we finish, we'll post the YouTube link, and hopefully people can watch it on the replay.
That's right. That's right.
Right, but they won't stop vaccine misinformation. They won't stop hate speech. They won't stop racist, but they'll stop our little show. Exactly. Let you know where their hearts lie.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't people just be good people? I don't understand that. I'm resisting the urge to go off on a serious rant, a serious tangent, but why are you resisting?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Let the hatred flow through you.
Yes.
Young Skywalker.
Right. Use your aggressive feelings, girl.
I saw this. I'm going to expand on something I saw the other day, because I'm always like scrolling through like Facebook and Twitter and all the other social media. And this managed to make it through on Twitter. And it was an image of a Native American man. I think Lakota Man may have posted this because I follow him. And it said, we were uncivilized until our white brothers showed up and told us that we were civilized until they showed up and showed us we were uncivilized. We didn't have crime because we didn't have possession. There was no theft because we didn't own anything. We gave of each other freely. There was no killing because we gave to each other. We didn't have anything about possession. And so until they came in and started trying to own stuff and hoard things, there was no need to hoard. There was no need to, if you had extra, you gave. And so people didn't have to steal. If you had shelter, you put down shelter, and so your TP, your home life, your whatever, your shelter was just there. You weren't squatting. You were just living. Nobody had a problem with it. And so this idea, I was thinking about that. The old adage that says possession is 9/10 of the law. I think we misunderstand that. I think it's not saying that it's 9/10 of how you adjudicate a situation. I think 9/10 of the reason we have so many laws are about possession. And so if we got over this idea of mine, the greed of it all, we wouldn't need so many laws. If there should be no law against homeless people just saying, you know what, let me put a tent right here so I can get out the rain. And then because this is somebody's private property, you're not even using this piece of grass right here. Can I get out of the rain? No, because I own this. That is so foul to me, And so now all of this, we have a right to this. It may have been that we put up the logo for the Tokyo Olympics. You should be glad we pumping up your Olympics, man. I mean, this is free press as far as I know.
Your Co-Olympics.
Your COVID Olympics that was going on.
So, I mean, it is kind of silly when you think about it, because what is Facebook and YouTube and Twitter and TikTok except people recycling content anyway?
Exactly.
Right.
And you don't have a problem on it if something goes viral and you get like $1 million in free publicity in 15 minutes. Right. But because I showed a logo that you shared on the internet, and by the way, there is no TM on that logo. Just, while we're being, I know the Olympic rings. It's not like I'm selling a t-shirt, and it's not like it's the cornerstone. That was 45 seconds of the broadcast, people. Get over yourselves. I know NBC is trying to drive viewership. I get it. I also know ain't nobody in the stands because you got a COVID outbreak. So what you trying to do?
Right.
I mean, leave it alone, people. But our numbers are coming back up, so whatever that little hiccup was, that's good. It seems like things are kind of straightened out.
People.
Speaking of hiccups and hypocrisy, here's women's uteruses. So this is Monsignor Jeffrey Burrow. He's the leader of the far-right U.S. Catholic bishops who wanted to deny President Biden communion for supporting a woman's right to choose because it's against God's teachings. Oh, he just resigned after he was caught using a gay hookup app Grindr to meet strange men at bars and then go home with them. I'm not surprised. Are you? This is a huge Go ahead, Joy, because this is your purview.
There seems to be a preponderance of men, particularly in the Catholic Church, that seem to have found a place for themselves while also simultaneously hiding and vilifying their predilection for either homosexuality or pedophilia, because there are two different things.
Are two different things.
There are two different things. I do not want to lump them together. He could be living his best life as a gay man. There's nothing wrong with Grindr. I got friends that have found all kind of love and hookups on there. Same thing with Tinder, which is the heterosexual version. There's two versions of the same thing. I got no problem. Live your best freak life. Let your freak flag fly.
Why?
Okay. However, don't condemn other people. Don't withhold Holy Communion from somebody else while you out here getting your freak on. And let everybody live their best life, especially when you talk about specifically the fact that you think that a woman's right to choose is against God's teachings, because the text in the Bible that people like to bring up is about spilling your seed on the ground and that being an abomination to God. First of all, the word abomination has been misinterpreted through multiple translations. Abomination, as it originally was shown in the original text, really just meant this is not good for you. It was never meant as a sin, unforgivable sin against God. It just meant this is not good for you. Shrimp was an abomination. Pork was an abomination. You know why? Because they had no refrigeration. Pork will kill you in the Old Testament. It's not good for you. And
it's not particularly good for you these days either.
I mean, it really ain't.
But
pork chop might still kill you.
At least you're not going to get trichomoniasis overnight.
Right, you ain't gonna get iodine poisoning from shrimp. Hopefully, depends where you get them from. But my point is, the spilling of seed on the ground, that is jerking off. That is spilling the seed on the ground. But for some reason, we never talk about jerking off as an abomination. That seems to be okay. Somehow they turn that into birth control. The same way sodomy never seems to include blowjobs. That's always all right. Why is the picking and choosing always in favor of what men want to do? But when women are like, you know what, I really would like to not get pregnant. They're like, no. God says you can't do that. God told you not to be jacking it all over the place. Why don't you handle yourself, son? Why you over here on Grindr trying to deny the president communion? That's just crazy to me.
Treat yourself.
Crazy. Control yourself, right? Instead of trying to control somebody else's body. This constant, and then to me, this constant way that conservative Christians like to lump all of the other evils that get put on a conservative ticket under the umbrella of I'm anti-abortion. I don't mind locking kids in cages. I don't mind denying people civil rights. I don't mind cutting funding for Social Security, for Medicare, for Medicaid, for universal safety nets, for WIC. I don't mind doing any of this that helps those same fetuses that I'm fighting for actually live once they are born. I don't mind throwing all that away for anti-abortion. That makes no sense to me. Are you really a Christian, or do you want to just hold on to this one thing because you actually kind of rock with the rest of this? If you really want, what was it? Stephen Colbert said this like 10 years ago. He said, either we are going to have to admit that we are not a Christian nation, or we are going to admit that Christ told us to love the poor and feed the needy, and just admit that we don't want to do that. But we cannot say we're a Christian nation because we do not uphold the things that Christ. He was hanging with whores and vagabonds and lepers and healing people and giving all of his resources away for free and flipping tables of the money changers, etc. Meanwhile, we got people out here trying to go to space and hoarding money and not giving people a living wage, talking about, you know what? I'm gonna just drink my drink.
Go ahead, Joy. Go ahead.
It is an awful lot. And the times we live in where sitting congressmen who take oaths to protect the Constitution are out here trying to overturn elections and prevent truth from being known. Did y'all see? I don't think we have this in the lineup, but it's a good time to bring up Fauci slayed Rand Paul.
He did.
Rand Paul tried to get up there and yell, and Fauci was like, I am disgusted at the lies. You do not know what you're talking about in the lies.
I appreciated that.
And Rand Paul was like, abba, dabba, dabba. And the chairman said, the gentleman's time has expired. This committee will hear the response of the witness. The lies. And I mean, it was, and you, sir, are a liar. And I said, go. And all Rand Paul could do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what that was? That was 4 years of, I can't believe I'm standing back here listening to this.
Right.
It was 4 years of fearing for his very life, because we don't know how Trump was rocking. So he's like, and finally, because you know, the minute Biden got in office, you saw his shoulders loosen up. Right. You saw him smile a little more. And when he felt like he was about to, but no, he was like, no. And he's like, we're not going back. It was great. It was great to see him just, that moment. That was the moment that was 4 years in the making. And it was beautiful.
Yeah. And CDJ 1495, I do not know who you are.
That's CJ.
That's
CJ. Oh, that's CJ? Yeah. Oh, that's right. See CJ on, this is her YouTube thing.
Mm-hmm.
I was waiting for Fauci to start clapping. Oh, he was clapping without using both hands.
Yes.
Because the lies, that was the clap right there. That was like,
yeah.
Right.
You heard the entire don't.
Basically, he was like, "What you not don't
He was setting it up, and you heard the whole church behind it.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh man, it was absolutely amazing. I want to shout out Carla Knight for having the fly profile pic. I see you, Carla. You working it right on out with your YouTube avatar. Go on ahead. We were talking about people who were closeted on Grindr. One person who is definitely not closeted on anything is Montero, Lil Nas X. If you all have not seen this new video, this is one of the
cleanest shot we could get from this video.
This is the cleanest shot we can get, and still this is with half they draw showing. This young man has decided that there is not going to be anyone more LGBTQIA plus / SGL in the music busyness. Not a single one. Not ne'er nan one.
Let me tell you something.
Go ahead, Joy. Tell it.
I am so proud. I am proud of the way he has taken his identity, his sexuality, his sense of self, and said, I'm gonna be me. I don't give, let me see if I can get this right in my throat. I don't give a fuck what y'all think about me. I'm gonna be me. I love what he's doing. First of all, if you haven't seen this video, he did something I've been waiting my whole life to see, which is full frontal nudity on a bunch of really chiseled men dancing and just swinging all through the video. I was like, really? Oh, okay. I mean, I know they ain't for me. They're really not for me, but don't mean I ain't looking, right? So, I mean, they ain't gonna ask me out, but I mean, I don't mean I came through a little bit. I was like, oh my God, boys are fine as all get out. But here's the thing. He attempted to be straight. He was outed. They expected him to run away and be like, oh my God, I can't believe I got outed. He was like, all right, you want to be gay? You want to see gay? I'm be gay. And then we got Montero. And then we got, what was the next song he did? I forget. But anyway, we got a series of songs. He's like, I'm gay. And then his Twitter feed is filled with I'm super gay, balls in my face. This is what I do now. This is what I am. Live with it. Love it. Or don't. I don't care.
Balls in the face.
He actually tweeted that. I'm gay. Balls in the face. This is what I do. Yes. And I love it. I'm here for it. And he's so real with it. He is 100% real. He doesn't try to hide anything. But here's another thing. He's turning it into an empire. I'm pleased with that. And this last video, she'll put that picture up one more time. This last video, he filmed it in a fake jail. It's got so many overtures. You really should watch it. If
Oh,
you can
yeah.
get past the shock of it all, the nudity and everything, it's got a whole lot of, he plays on a lot of tropes about prison culture, about, you know, the girls and all, you know, the holding on to the pockets and all that kind of stuff. He's the dominant in the jail and etc. He shows clips from his Grammy presentation.
Mm-hmm. That's that was the Shawshank Redemption homage.
Yes, the Shawshank Redemption homage. Yes, that Shawshank is in there. He also shows a guard watching his Montero video.
Right,
at
and
the
kind of
same time.
licking his.
It's so deep. It's very well done. They got credits at the end of this video.
And Jason Momoa is in the video too.
I thought that was Jason Momoa.
That is
punching
Aquaman.
bag in the back.
Yeah, punching the
I
punching
thought I
bag.
knew my other baby. So
And the interesting thing, I don't know if you took note of this, but the guy who has the feature, Halsey or whatever his name. What's his name? Not Halsey.
hang on. I'm gonna tell you in a second.
That guy. So the rest of the video is very, very, very focused on Nas and Nas's dancers. But when we cut to the white boy who has the feature, all of a sudden they make sure there's a sexy woman up in the cell with her leg all around his neck and everything, like, just in case you thought this is the 30 seconds of non-gay.
Jack Harlow.
Jack Harlow, there you go. So he made for sure, like, nah. I'm in a cell by myself with this girl woman, and she's got her girl pieces and parts all over my body because that's what I like. That is what I am focused on. And you let Nas roll down the hall with his two prison wives and the naked shower scene.
But here's the other thing that I'm proud of. Underneath his video, he has a link to the cash bail foundation.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
And so he's encouraging people to donate to that charity to help people with cash bail because it's affected his life. 1 in 2 people in America has been affected by the cash bail system, and so that's why he set that video in a prison. To talk about how cash bail affects specifically people of color and people who lack the money to get out and end up spending years in some cases in prison because they can't afford bail. So on top of everything else, on top of saying, you know, F your feelings, I'm gonna be me, on top of balls in my face, I'm super gay, on top of the pink prison outfits, he's doing something with the money. More than Jeff Bezos space flying ass is doing with his money. So hats off, ass out.
Speaking of Jeff Bezos, as it pertains to Lil Nas X may have had a bunch of pixelated peen dancing in the shower, but Jeff Bezos just sent up the biggest dildo on the planet into space for 10 minutes. And you got to build a whole rocket ship. We've had ships to go to the moon. We've had rovers that went to Mars. We've had space shuttles that flown up 13, 14, 15, 16 times. Not one of those spaceships looked like a dick. But Jeff Bezos, when he decided he wanted to take his Fantastic Four into suborbit, he just had to make sure that it looked like what he doesn't have.
You know who else's spaceship looked like a dick? Dr. Evil.
Yeah, Goldmember. Yeah, I mean, it's like... Yeah, Dr. Evil, that's right, the very first one, and it had the satellite dishes on the side just to make sure that you got the full image. I just don't. People have been going into space for a while. Wait, how about this? Jeff Bezos spent $250 million to go into space, right? In F9, Tej and Tyrese went up in a Fiero.
Yes, in a Pontiac Fiero with a rocket
with the rocket. So I'm not impressed, Bezos. You would have been more impressive if a Fiero hadn't done it 2 weeks ago.
Right. But maybe if he had family, he could have got into space with a Fiero.
You don't need physics if you got family.
You got family.
You don't need structural integrity of suborbital craft if you got family. He said, "Oh, I use ceramic tile, so you should be okay. If you don't sit your ass down." That's what I'm saying. They were in those damn SpongeBob suits. Like
that's not how physics works at all. But it's all good.
No seal. He's eating ferromagnetic candy wrappers floating all up in the Fiero. There were so many challenges in that damn movie. I don't even know what to say. And here you go.
I found it hilarious. I was loving every minute of it.
CJ, Chuck wants you to say something.
What up, CJ?
No, that's not what she wants. She wants you to make a comment, man. We carry in the water. You got this comment on something.
No, man, I'm enjoying the conversation, y'all. I'm enjoying y'all.
Well, here's something I'm going to let you weigh in on, Chuck, because I know this is something that you care about. Of course, Karen has the perfect butt in the world, according to jeans manufacturers. And when I saw this wasn't the picture I saw. She actually had a little more curve than that.
Now here's the thing.
Wait, Joy, you gotta let Chuck say something because Chuck ain't been saying nothing. So go on ahead, Chuck. You have the first crack.
Man,
get it? You see what I did there?
No pun intended. Right.
You got the first crack at this ass. Go on ahead.
No, man, what ass? It's that is a plane. That is a
not a plane.
Surface. Yeah, that is a plane, bruh. And you know, again, Tom, I love your word that you used earlier. Ironing board ass. The caucasity. You know, the one thing that I really appreciated almost 30 years ago when Sir Mix-a-Lot came out with Baby Got Back is, you know, it was a catchy song. You know, it was the song of the summer of, I guess that was 91, 92. You know, right. But at the end of the day, I really appreciated how in his own way, in his own profane way, he validated the curvatures and the bodies of Black women.
That's right.
And I think he might have been one of the first in the rap era to when I say rap era, I'm not talking about he was the first one to say something about
right.
Because heck, I'll go with 2 Live Crew and a whole lot of other stuff before then. But in terms of what white people were listening to, because for whatever reason, white people gravitated toward Sir Mix-a-Lot's Baby Got Back. They love that song. They still love that song. You go.
It made it into Friends.
Right.
It made it into an episode of Friends. Rap the whole thing.
They love the song. And what I appreciated was I was like, yeah, you know, I have never, ever, like Nick said, you know, looked at Cosmo or any of those magazines and thought that any of those women were sexy. I might have thought that some were pretty. Like, you know, I remember when we were growing up, all the fuss about Cindy Crawford. I mean, sure, she was decent looking, you know, but she didn't do it for me. I mean, you know, we grew up looking at Pam Grier and you know,
Lola Falana
and so many other people who were packing in the back, if you get where I'm coming from, who had curves,
packing,
right, and breasts, and you know, and I'm not trying to be, you know, profane or inappropriate here, even though we are after dark, but still, it's what we consider to be beauty isn't what they consider to be beauty, and
or booty,
cool. Right, and so. At the end of the day, I just find it so interesting, and I'm so glad that we're even farther along now as a people where nobody gives a damn. Like when someone comes on with the video, this is the perfect, but no, it's not. It's perfect for y'all, but not for us. We're not going to go rush out. Black women ain't going to go buy those jeans and all of that type of stuff because there's no room in those jeans for the sisters, if you get where I'm coming from.
No, the brothers are looking at Beyonce's video, talking about if you don't have to jump up and down to get your jeans.
You don't have to put jeans on, baby. You don't feel my pain.
Exactly.
Thank you.
So, you know, it's always nice to, whenever I see these things, it just makes me think of, you know, you may have created these internets, but you don't own these internets. You just can't go out with any slander you want and act like folks are just going to sign off on it, because that was just some straight up.
I laughed a good laugh when I saw that clip the other day. I'm talking about I almost couldn't breathe. I was laughing so hard, like, wow, this. And I try to diss the woman. I mean, her body is what it is, but that is not the perfect ass. Like,
here's the thing. Here's the thing. Technically speaking. I'm gonna put this back up. So technically speaking, for the people who manufacture jeans, she is a jeans fit model. They build jeans for this particular shape, and she is perfectly shaped for white people's jeans with a European cut. And so, but you know, the Gloria Vanderbilts of the world.
I was about to say that's a Gloria Vanderbilt ass for sure.
That's that Vanderbilt ass, and that's what they're looking for. And she is perfectly proportioned for those jeans that have no room in them. That is not a FUBU ass. That is not a baby fat ass. And this speaks to so I'm not bothered. Matter of fact, hats off to her. Make your money, girl. But what I was bothered by was the fact that they said she had the perfect butt. Right. She has a perfect butt, but please modify that for a European standard of beauty.
Right.
And she's an American model. Okay, so we're talking about the European standard that has come over with Europeans into America, but that is not a perfect butt. Because Beyonce is alive, J-Lo is alive, you know, Angela Bassett is alive. How are you gonna say there's a perfect butt?
Wow.
And, you know, baby fat is a thing. Ivy Park is a thing. You know, so miss me with the perfect butt, because that ain't even nothing you can grab on. You just
but you know what's interesting? It's interesting how beauty standards change, because this next clip is something that I put into the chat because I found this absolutely hilarious, and so I'm going to read it. Go ahead.
So I'm gonna let you read it, but you know, Chuck, you just said that Sir Mix-a-Lot was the first one to really appreciate a backside. Actually,
it is not true. It is your boy Chaucer. So this is an excerpt from one of his things, and I'm going to read it as I read it in my mind when I first saw this clip. This wench thick and welly grown was, with Camus' nose and yen grey as glass, with buttocks broad and breastes round and high, but right fair was here, I will not lie. And what that means is this wench was thick and well grown, with a pug nose and eyes gray as glass, with buttocks broad and breasts round and high, but right fair was her hair, I will not lie. And if you look at this thing, you see, with buttocks broad, I will not lie.
Wow.
So Chaucer was inspiring Sir Mix-a-Lot in what is that, Chuck? You had to. Is that the 12th century?
Yeah, man. Middle English. Yes, sir. It's 13th. Right.
13th. So 1200s. Okay.
Right.
So Chaucer was on that thing.
Yeah, 1340s. Yeah, he liked big butts and he did not lie.
With buttocks broad and breasts round and high, but
you know what I'm trying to figure out?
Here I will not lie.
And you know, at that time, there were a whole bunch of Spanish who had been mixed with the Moors who were heading into England at that point in time. You almost wonder if Chaucer had been in the pub. Not the club, but the pub with a sister. You get what
I'm saying?
Yeah.
It sounds like big buttocks and a little bit of a
Right. This is one of those conversations where I'm like, Joy, pass that to the left.
He could set his drink. He could set his drink on that tank.
Look at young buttocks.
Yeah, of brown ale, of some good brown ale, okay?
Mine robe doth rise.
Right.
I will not lie.
That is a great find, y'all. Great find.
Yeah, I have to give props. I don't even remember where I saw it. It came across my feed probably from a Reddit thing. But when I said I will not lie,
there it is.
There it is. Freaking killed it for me. I absolutely love that. That was amazing. Awesome. Joy, I don't know if you want to take this next thing, because I will not lie, it upsetteth me.
Chuck, you did a piece on this on your page as well. So
which one, love?
We were just talking about, you know, appreciation of a black form and about, you know, Chaucer maybe getting down with the sisters. And so this next picture is an interracial couple. And I got no problem with interracial couples.
Okay.
I
got no problem with people wanting to get married. Love who you love. Howsomever. Don't disrespect the things that have happened in history for a viral set of pictures.
No.
And if you haven't seen these slavery engagement photos, I'm gonna show you real quick. This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
this, the whole we fell in love and then he became a
Yeah.
member of the family. This is some bullshit, y'all.
It is, Joy.
I'm mad at him. I'm mad at her, the photographer, the person with the costumes, whoever did their makeup, whoever gave him that hat, the chains, whoever, anybody who was there that day, whoever walked by and didn't say, the fuck y'all doing? Whoever didn't just tackle them. I'm mad at everybody that was in a 30-mile radius that let this happen.
It's not funny.
It's not funny.
And man, it's what really bothered me was as if getting in her family
was the prize.
That's it, Tom. Like, who in the hell is she, and who are they? To make it like, and what kind of low self-esteem does he have to allow himself to willingly denigrate our ancestors with this level of coonery? I just, and it's not funny. Like, I'm all for satire or a well-placed joke, but I don't joke about what our ancestors went through, because there's nothing funny about any of that, And so,
the thing that struck me about these pictures is that reading the narrative, she talks about it was 1,846 days and all of this. She's trying to link the length of their relationship to historical numbers and all this other foolishness. But in I think it's 5 pictures, she's in love with him, right? He is in chains in 4 out of the 5 pictures.
Right.
He's looking longingly in her eyes and she's looking longingly in his eyes, but she ain't got out them keys.
Right.
So he's still in chains. And what? So you were getting your Mandingo fantasy on, but he still had the irons? Like, what's your safe word? Watermelon? Like, what are you doing right now? And I just looked at this brother and he said, and again, I don't mean to sound this way, but that's who you betray your entire ancestors for? That one?
Okay, so we're not going to denigrate her the way she looks.
No, we're not. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're not going there. It has nothing to do with how she looks. My problem was with the fact that in the middle of a moment in time where our government, portions of our government, are trying to deny the history of slavery.
Yeah.
And they're trying to whitewash what happened. And they're trying to deny the genocide of Native Americans. You choose to do this. That is it's beyond tone deaf. It's disrespectful. That's what I got a problem with.
It's awful. It is awful. And I
was wondering, ashamed of yourself.
Who are his people?
Where are your parents, boy?
Right, parents.
He has no people.
Yeah.
He has Nam people.
Yeah.
Because they let him do all this. He's kneeling down in front of her, kissing her hands and all of this stuff. And then there's a picture where it kind of looks like maybe she's going to unshackle him, but she don't do it.
Yeah.
The only time you see him without handcuffs is when he's standing over her.
Right. With the top coat.
With the top coat and all of that.
Whatever, man.
And it feeds into the trope of white women are a prize.
Right.
Oh, because he's Becky Sue down.
Yeah.
It's
and I'm more upset with him than I am the woman. I mean, I don't have much expectations from the other side when it comes to some of these things. If they are woke, great, come on and be an ally. But the onus is on us as a people to do better and protect the memories and the legacy of what our ancestors went through.
He's not doing better.
Real coward. Yeah, real coward.
And if you've ever seen the movie Mandingo, you know that he was boiled in oil at the end of that movie.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
It's not a fantasy.
It is not.
It wasn't pretty.
Not to mention James Mason putting his feet on the back of enslaved children to get the rheumatiz. I mean, that's one of those movies that I've only seen one time. I know we could probably do a whole show on that, but sometimes some movies are just so unsettling for one reason or another that you don't ever see them again. That's one.
Like Precious.
I've only seen Precious once. I'm gonna trip y'all out on this. I have only seen The Passion of the Christ once. I watched it one time when it first debuted. Mel Gibson's movie. I haven't seen it again since then. Certain things I just don't. It's like I don't need to see that anymore.
I only saw Rosewood once, and I own it. And
Wow.
I own it once.
Yeah, it's too triggering. Yeah, yeah.
I got a friend, we won't let him watch it because he worked at Georgia Tech. Like, nah, bro. Let me tell you what you're not gonna do.
Yeah.
No, we're not. This is what we're not going to do.
Right. So to him and his bride, I wish you a happy marriage, and you should be ashamed of yourself for these pictures.
And they're gonna raise some confused and trifling children too.
And the kids are looking real stupid.
Yeah, because the kids aren't gonna understand who they really are.
Nope.
Life is gonna kick them in the ass when they go to school thinking that
this was not worth. This was not worth it. Whatever you thought was going to happen with the clicks and the viral, etc. Maybe you hope to get an interview or something and help pay for the wedding. There were other ways to have done this. It was start a GoFundMe like everybody else. This was very, very poor taste.
No self-respect.
Yeah, it kind of makes me wonder if it weren't part of some, like I think you said it, Joy, you were literally trying to become viral and you ended up becoming viral for all the wrong reasons.
All the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
It's just like, just not something that anybody really wanted or needed to see from you. And yet you're trying to be cute because you think it's cute. And in the midst of everything that this country is facing right now, it was just not the thing to do.
Not at all.
It's just not the thing to do. You ain't have to do that.
Speaking of viral, though, there's another viral video that's been going around with a white woman and a black woman in Victoria's Secret.
Oh, Bashira Valasasera.
If y'all haven't seen this brought me, I'm ashamed to say how many times I watched it. But if you haven't seen it, and I know you haven't, I'm gonna play it again anyway. I want to break this down. I've been waiting to break this down.
Okay,
So
which one are you gonna put on though?
I'm gonna start with the original.
Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna have to take ourselves out so we don't and change the background so we don't have that. I'm gonna take the background out. I'm gonna take y'all out. Bye, Chuck. And I'm gonna show y'all this video real quick.
Oh God, no, excuse. Now you are, oh my God. Oh my God. Do you see this?
Here's the slow faint.
I never thought nothing like this would happen to me. She just tried to run and hit me. And now she, did you see her? You saw her, right? They all saw her. Oh my God. Karen had a breakdown. She tried to hit me. Ask your workers. She tried to hit me. She tried to hit me. Now I want security for you. Oh my God. Oh my God. You should have thought about that before you did what you did. Oh my God. This don't even feel real. This do not feel real.
You hear the cashier? Yeah, you could just go around here.
Don't record me. Y'all got to get security. She charged me. If I wouldn't have ducked, she would. Oh no, you just wanted security for me, right? I want security for you now. No, don't cry. No. I want you to call security. Thank you. I just came to get my free panty. You know how you get the coupon in the mail? And I got to pick up my Converse.
Not the free panties.
I don't know why this is happening to me. Don't charge me. Oh, you want to? Oh, yeah, she. I'm scared to even approach her. You're scaring me. Like you gotta go postal. Don't record. No, why don't she walk away from me? No, I was here. No. We're not doing this. Why don't I walk away from her? Why don't she get away from me? She could get away. Go wherever you want to go. This
Here
is
it comes.
crazy.
Here's the slow motion faint, y'all. Here it comes. She's about to, and I am losing my energy. Faint.
I'm sorry. I don't mean that. Ooh, Lord.
That's kind of a banging soundtrack, though.
Yeah, because.
Did you have 2 yoga mats?
No, I had one. We was trying to just find a price check for one of them. Just one I had. Okay, I'm gonna leave her here, Pest. Actually, you know, I have a coupon for the free panties, and it says everyone is excluded except for the period panty. But I actually want to see what that was.
I can show you.
Okay. All right, Cameron.
Oh man. It's the free panties for me, man. It keeps me cracking. I'm like, is that all she's there for? Like, how many times is she gonna tell us that? Right?
And when she held the panty coupon,
This is why I'm here.
Look, this is what I'm here for, right? Like,
Now I'm telling you, if you haven't followed,
clean up on that one. Right. Oh, y'all are stupid.
okay, wait. So if you haven't followed this whole story, so she fell out. Then she kept screaming. She started screaming like you heard like the scream that like little girls can do that will bring down an avalanche. She started doing that after a while. They called security. Security was slow coming. Security took so long to come that finally that same white woman, after she screamed and pointed and was shaking, she pretended to have a seizure. Now that really offended me because my sister's epileptic. And I'm like, bitch, you know you lying. That is not a seizure. You can't talk while you're having a seizure. And so she did all of this. Then she stood up and then she called the police and told the police that this black woman was attacking her. She felt threatened. She's crying. She's very much Amy Cooper in this woman and doing all of this. She did. She chased her around the store, all this kind of stuff. If this woman hadn't kept recording, then there's no telling because the police showed up. And now I will say the police, they didn't want to do it. They didn't want to have nothing to do with this. They were like, oh my God, this is the most ridiculous thing. And now they started with the whole, we can't do anything to her because it's mall property. Knowing good and hell well, I've seen them pull people out the mall.
Frog march in cuffs. Stop
Depending on, the melanation of your skin, you can get marched out the mall. That has never been a problem before. But this woman, well, we really can't do anything. And then they told her, they told the black woman, well, if you don't feel safe, we can escort you to your car. No, you ain't escorting me to my car. Made me look like I'm the perp. No, hell no.
Right, hell no.
And so then she went to file a police report at the police office, and come to find out, this woman's mother works in the police office. She's like a lieutenant or something.
Oh hell!
And that's why ain't nobody really want to have nothing to do with this. Now, feel free to substantiate all this for yourselves. There may have been more things that have come out since the last time I checked on this story. But since I checked on this story, the internet stay undefeated. Remember I told you she was shaking and messing up on the ground. So D.L. Hughley, he always comes with the real. So this is what we also saw.
Shout out.
Oh man, that was great.
I love my people. We you know what? This country and this world, this country is so unfair to us that we can't do nothing but laugh sometimes. Matter of fact, the lady who was filming, she said that you hear her laughing, you hear her saying, oh my God. It's not because she thought it was funny, it's because sometimes you're so in shock and you cannot believe what's happening. She goes, it was nervous laughter. Because that woman tried to hit her. The whole thing starts with her coming at her.
Right.
And so
can I tell you when her thighs started shaking like that cup of water in Jurassic Park with the T-Rex? It's like boom.
Yeah.
Boom.
And what's strange, the sister had a lot of restraint because I know a lot of sisters would have worn her ass out. When she violated the circumference, like once she broke that person's face, yeah, man. Once you break that circumference, I know some sisters that would have worn her out, and so it's and again, that shows the restraint that we as a people have to have, because it would have been a whole other story. Had the sister stood her ground and beat her ass, then the next thing you know, the cops would have been trying to lock the sister up, and then she would have had the lawyer up and prove that she was within her right to, mop the floor, mop aisle one with Karen. So
now I'm gonna tell you,
it's rough.
this is the benefit of being a big girl, because I weigh 200 pounds, right?
They're not gonna run up.
You ain't gonna run up on me. First of all,
yeah.
you ain't gonna run up on me.
Same with a big dude, Jordan.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Right.
Yeah.
Second of
Tom
all,
and I know that they're not gonna run up.
you ain't gonna run up on. If you do, if you're stupid enough to do so, I'm not gonna throw hands. I'm going to play the invalid. I'm gonna let you get close to me. I'm going to, my knee, buckle, and I'm gonna lay my entire weight on your chest. And we're gonna just lay here, boneless, dead weight until the cops show up.
Okay, now I don't know if they do this to women, but every now and again, especially pre-COVID, I'll have situations where, as a very large black male, you'll have some really pissed off person walking down the aisle, and there's rules to these things, right? And Tom will tell you this. For instance, I'm 6'1", almost close to 6'2". I'm 300 and some pounds, right? But if I'm walking and Shaq and I are going down the same aisle, and Shaq's 7'2", 300 and some pounds, right? I'm gonna yield the right of way to the bigger dude in the smaller space. It's just something that you know. But here comes Mr. 5'8", 145 pounds with blonde hair and the MAGA hat. He's walking down the aisle, and I'm like, he's not gonna yield, even though I have the right of way and I'm here first. And it's always funny when they bounce off my shoulder or my forearm into the stacks of books or into the can of peas, the aisle with the peas and stuff.
The can of peas!
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm not moving. I was here first. You're not going to run through me. You're not. It's passive-aggressive shit on them coming at somebody who's aggressive. There's nothing passive about me, and it's funny. And then I'm like, hey, can I help you? You all right? Because I know they're hurt. Once they run into the wall, the Great Wall of Tallahassee, and it's just funny. But these are, it doesn't happen often, but every now and again with men, they'll come at you with that BS, like they want to test their stamina and what have you. And I find it cute. It makes me laugh when I think about it later.
Women do it too.
Okay.
Women do it too. And when I bruise their breast, I'm so sorry. I didn't see you there.
Right.
Oh, your ass. Show me right in the chest.
From the Oscar-winning mind and master of horror, Jordan Peele, I give you.
I don't know what this is about, but I'm so gonna see it.
I will tell you, the person on Very Smart Brothers or somebody on Twitter said the fact that he chose the universal one syllable for all black people going into a horror situation as the name of his next horror film is some meta level trollery genius.
No doubt.
And
I don't even know what it's about.
It's a cloud with kites. I don't I don't get it, but I do get this. I do get this.
I'm gonna see it.
Nope.
Yeah.
This movie is probably going to be 5 minutes long because Daniel Kaluuya is going to walk into town and see Pennywise and be like,
Nope.
I'm out.
Right.
So, it'll be interesting. Wait, who is this? So I guess you ain't gonna move over it. Is my go-to statement. That's Carla. I know Mrs. Butterworth is like, yeah. See, you you gonna have to move now. Don't try to get froggy now. Mm-hmm. You about to see how froggy it can get. Mm-hmm. What is this one? Do we want to do Cornell or this other thing? This tweet that you had.
It's kind of old at this point, so we can kind of let it go. Y'all know Cornell West resigned, and we don't have to read his letter, but I did get a joy out of everybody's response, because when Cornell West left, well, I guess we are talking about it now. When he left Harvard, he was like, basically, God bless y'all. It's so hot today. I quit. I hate y'all. Y'all trash. And so one lady said, basically what he said was, boy, it's hot out here. Anyway, fuck the school and click y'all claim. That's pretty much what he said in this. He spent all these words.
All those words.
Yes, all of this text and paper and ink and education to say this. And so I'm glad that Beta Adams summed it up for us.
That would have been so much better.
Yeah.
And I'm still mad that he's using Joy as the inspiration for his beard. Because between that afro and that bad dye job and the scraggliness, he needs to get it fixed. He needs a barber. He needs a better font choice for his signature with that old pirate Blackbeard bullshit. And he needs not to type a page when all he really needed to say was, you know what? I'm done with you. I'm out. Deuces. That would have been much more black if he had said it's hot as fuck out here and fuck you in the click you claim. That would have been gangster.
Yeah.
And instead, he gives us grievance politics like we don't remember when you were slandering Obama every damn day and couldn't be found to say nothing about Trump for the last 4 years.
You need the gift, the Nobody Cares gift with the 20th Century Fox
Right.
searchlights. Like,
nobody cares, bro.
Right.
It's like you were the only one who was impressed by Harvard.
Right.
You literally were.
And I really think he was trying to steal a little bit of thunder from Nicole Hannah-Jones. You know, this
absolutely he was.
Same week that she and Ta-Nehisi Coates got inked their deals, the next day we're seeing Cornell. I'm like, how childish is this? Like,
well, I mean, he been childish though.
Right.
But the thing is that Nicole was a come up.
Right.
You just lost your job.
Right.
You just lost your job.
Right.
And it's like, with your old Clarence Williams III Tales from the Hood looking ass, stop it.
Yeah.
Nobody cares, bro.
His time has passed, man. For real. If he had a time. I've had some people who broken down some stuff on this topic on my page to make me have to rethink how deep he ever really was.
Joy is still laughing about Clarence Williams III.
I can't unsee it now.
Rest in peace, right? Rest in peace. Right.
I just see him like sweating and like, yes,
yeah,
this is hell.
That's the difference between you and me. It's all in my head.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, he scared me in Purple Rain, bro. I mean,
yeah,
he played Dart as good as Dart could be.
Yeah.
And so I was like, shit, Prince.
And Deep Cover. Deep Cover is out in the Criterion Collection. Go grab it now. That is an amazing movie. A young Lawrence Fishburne. You got a youngish Jeff Goldblum. You got Clarence Williams III. You got the dude from the pudgy dude from Starman. Basically playing the same role except dropping N-bombs. You got Clifton Powell, everybody's favorite straight-to-DVD actor in the first scene. And Victoria Dillard, the lovely Victoria, the underrepresented and underappreciated Victoria Dillard.
Definitely.
That movie had a cast and a half, not to mention the dude who played the Dada Man in what's the Spike Lee movie?
Do the Right Thing.
Do the Right Thing. So, man, that was a heavy hitting cast, dude. Plus a dude from the damn Sesame Street, the Latino dude from Sesame Street is a drug kingpin. It has it all. That's an amazing movie. Go get you some Deep Cover. That movie is amazing.
There's two more videos that I want to show tonight, and I'm going to do the Look at Our People one first, and then I'm going to end with, you want to do the heavy one first, or you want to do the light one first? You tell me which way you want to go. One is Tarrant County, Alabama.
Yeah. Well, that's gonna. I think that may be a little bit longer. Do you think that you want to go with Jamil and end with that?
Yeah. Okay. So all I'm gonna say is, don't never steal a black woman's car.
She tracked her stolen Mercedes-Benz all over Detroit. On day 3, she decided to take matters into her own hands. That she did. She confronted the thief.
Stole my At that point, I was just like, dog, I'm not letting this man walk again.
Bianca face to face with the guy she says stole her brand new Benz.
Excuse me, you got that Benz out there? Yes, you do.
It went down Wednesday at a barbershop at Greenfield and Grand River.
Yes.
That's all you need to see.
Yeah.
Wait.
Ooh.
The camera. That's your Benz outside? Yeah.
Yeah. No more conversation, right?
That's the thing. She walks in all cool, talking about that's your biz outside, and then it was just like,
What? Ain't nothing to talk about, right?
because it got that glow.
Yeah.
This is when we say you getting dragged. That's
it.
what that looks like.
She literally had him by the locks and was dragging his 95-pound ass across the floor in the barbershop.
And this is what I love. Shout out to Detroit. Everybody else in the barbershop helped her carry that dude outside. Yeah. Somebody else had his legs. She had his hair. They're like, oh no.
It's so cold in the deep.
Okay.
Right, but yeah, like CJ said, I work hard for you ain't gonna just take it.
I know that's right.
And was running errands in her car for 3 days. Because if I remember the story correctly, she kept like trying to LoJack it, and every time the cops would show up to where it was, he would be gone by the time they got there. And so finally she was like following it around because the cops, they do have things to do. I mean, it is Detroit. And so she was right, it's right here. She's like, my car is right here in the parking lot. He's in that barbershop. She's like, excuse me. That's your Benz. I know she's probably like, that's your Benz outside. Yeah. And then it's on and popping. I'm here for it. I'm here for it all day, girl. Get your car. Get your life. I love it.
That was amazing.
It really was.
That was amazing.
He wasn't ready either.
Because it was that instant transformation. Because you thought, because she had the whole steady cam thing walking in, like she had her gimbal game on, and she walked up, and like you said, Joy, hey, is that your? But if you said
Skibbity paps. You're right, Anthony. He drove it back up to where she worked a couple times before she finally was able to catch up to him. Yeah. She was never able to coordinate with the cops when she could catch him. So finally she caught him on her own, and then they held him there till the cops got there.
He had it coming.
How do you be that? I could understand Debo pulling a move like that.
But that
you're 95 pounds. 95 pounds, and 10 of it is hair.
Yeah.
Like what you don't be in the same like neighborhood with a Benz, a new Benz. Like you're supposed to take that out of state, bro, and sell it and then come back like in a Camry or something. You don't just be popping somebody's Benz like it's cool for 3 days, a brand new Benz. You don't think the cops gonna be looking for you? And then you at the barbershop flossing?
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, this mine's. No, bro. And you don't even have a scalp anymore. Mm-hmm. No edges. Just dragged.
Right. He ain't getting
Yeah, going ahead, Joy.
Hot mess. Okay, so this last story for tonight is something I really want to discuss. There's a lot here. Now, I'm going to set up the story for you. I pulled up the article to make sure I could read it. This is coming from Tarrant, Alabama.
Of course.
A Tarrant City councilman is under fire tonight for using a racial slur during a council meeting Monday night. Councilman John Bryant, also known as Tommy Bryant, said he uses the N-word. By a matter of fact, he says house N-word in the middle. Tommy is white, by the way. He said he only used it because he wanted to demonstrate the type of language that Mayor Wyman Newton uses regularly. Now, here's the thing. Wyman Newton is Black. And according to Tommy Bryant, Wyman Newton has used it in reference to another council member, Veronica Freeman. Now, from my understanding, Wyman Newton, the mayor, has faced a lot of pushback from the council members, including Veronica Freeman, who tends to side with the other Republican council members. And there's been a lot of tension between him and everybody else. He ain't got no supporters inside, interior.
Just the voters.
He has never said this. He says he has never called her a house in or anything. So this is what happened. Let me play this for you real quick. He actually opened his mouth and did this. Y'all look at this.
The N-word.
I mean, I know I'm black.
Now you want to address what I have to say. Do we have a house nigger in here? Yeah,
Okay.
Do we? Hey, do we? Would she please stand up? Y'all are seeing this, right? Cameras? All right.
Yeah. So,
That rolled off his mouth real smooth.
yeah.
Well, but also here's the thing.
Who's the black guy that was sitting there? Was that the mayor?
It might have been the mayor, because one of the things that the mayor said is that every single one of our meetings is recorded. So when I said that, obviously you can just pull the tape, right? So just pull the tape. And then he points at the woman who's whose honor, quote unquote, he was trying to defend, and says, "Is that her? Stand up."
Yeah. Okay. So
you're just
set the scenario. 2003. We were talking about Florida State coach Bobby Bowden earlier. I was co-counsel on State versus Adrian McPherson. He was FSU's quarterback who was charged with gambling. Very contentious case because there were a lot of people thinking that FSU was going to get the death penalty from the NCAA if it found out that he was betting on their games, right? CNN, ESPN, first big media case I was ever involved in. It was very intimidating from that standpoint, seeing all the cameras and all of whatever. One day after hearing, lead counsel and I, his name was Grady Irvin, and one of my best friends from way back, Richard Allen, who was my roommate at Morehouse and also a trial lawyer, we're walking out of court in May of 2003. And white dude looks me dead in my eyes. Again, everybody's pissed off about this McPherson case. We're getting ready to go to trial next week. He looks me in my eyes and calls me a fucking nigga. When I tell you that suited up, and cold hand up and all of that, I hit him with the best one-hitter quitter that I've ever had in my career. Talking like I'm Mike Tyson, but in all of the fights I've ever had, I never connected as well as I connected with that guy's jaw. I can still hear the crack of bone on bone. He flew back at least 10 feet. I then got about a good 5 kicks into his ribs and head before my boy Richard and a couple other lawyers grabbed me, and Richard's like, "Hobbs, that's enough. He didn't have enough." I mean, and then we went to a watering hole because, interestingly enough, I didn't get arrested because one of the bailiffs was outside on a smoking break and heard the whole exchange and saw it. And my only upset thing was that I only got 5 or 6 kicks in. I really wanted to kick him to sleep.
Good thump, yeah.
Right, because I had never had that happen before. But my knee-jerk reaction was not, "Hey, Mr. Police Officer, did you see it?" Or, "Hey, I'm going to file her." No, my knee-jerk reaction was,
"You're going to learn today."
Quitter. Yeah, and no conversation, no deliberating, just cracked that jaw and then started kicking them ribs and that head in, all right? I'm not understanding, like our friend Sharon Letman said, how anybody there, when this dude kept going and started pointing at the sister, he should have been stomped up under that table, and I, like Cersei Lannister, I'd have chosen violence. There's no question about it, y'all. I'm done. That's all I got to say about it.
Well, and the bearded ZZ Top dude at the thing looked like he was shocked. Like, wait, what? Where did this come from?
Right, he's at the podium.
I was talking about a water ordinance, and I'm caught up in the middle of what? I don't want anybody to think I said it. That's a far shot. I don't know if my lips could be seen as the one who was saying that. He's just like, oh.
Nah, I don't want no part of this. Yeah. And that's why I was asking who was the black dude sitting there, because mayor or not, he should have been leading the kicking. I mean, that should have been some "I'm going to show you better than I can tell you."
Well, but I think that was an attempt probably to bait him into doing something, and he played it cool because, again, to Sharon's point, the community is 53% black, which is why he could probably garner the vote. But there's still pockets of that community for city council where there's some guaranteed support for this other cat who's on there. And so it is really staggering that sort of commentary is allowed in the public square. And not only did he say he's not going to resign, he said, "Maybe I'll run for mayor next time," which is what the real whole point was.
Yeah.
Let's tarnish the character of the first black mayor just to let you know, and maybe I can knock down some of his black supporters by claiming that he used this word against a black woman, and then I can skate in.
See, now I want to get into that for a touch, and I'm going to. I want my friend Eva, who lives in Alabama, she was like, that councilwoman should have flown across the table on his ass because he said, "Would you please stand up?" as in reference to her. And then she said she should have flown across the table on his ass. She must really be what he said she was. And so remember, I told you that she is an obstacle to the mayor in addition to this guy who said this. And it makes me wonder what has been going on behind closed doors in Tarrant City. It makes me wonder who has said what to whom, and it has gotten back to certain people, not in council, but at the watering hole, in private chambers. Somebody you thought you could trust that you said, "Man, I can't stand that chick. She's such blah, blah, blah." And they let it get known. Or she knows that you think this, or she knows that she is. If you say this in the meeting, I have to wonder how hard because you know that we can set each other up. Every Messiah has a Judas, right? And so I am so torn at how we got here in this meeting where this white man felt comfortable enough, because his wife uses the N-word on social media as well.
Yeah, exactly.
He felt comfortable enough to just let this roll right off of his tongue. And thank you, CJ. All my Alabama folks coming through, so they're all familiar with this city. And this is a hot effing mess. And that guy who said it.
City. What is it near Montgomery, Mobile, Birmingham? Like
I think it's near here.
Nope. Nope.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but it's gonna be near Birmingham if I'm not mistaken.
Birmingham. Okay. Okay. So definitely within proximity of us.
Yes.
We an hour or so.
Right.
Away.
Us adjacent.
Yeah, us adjacent. Yeah, we can get there. Okay.
But the thing is, like the reason this made the news is not only did he say it, that when people call for his resignation, he's like, "No, I'm not backing down. I'm running for mayor."
Right.
So he thinks that this is a pathway forward to be shocking and to try and say, "Oh, I didn't say it." Oh, the airport is in Tarrant City.
Okay. Wow.
Wait, I'm quoting my girl again. Oh, thank you. Birmingham. Yes. But I didn't say it. The mayor said it. And this Tommy guy is trying to split the black vote by turning black people against each other, potentially. And I don't know the story. I'm conjecturing at this point, and I have no problem saying I don't know what's happening there. But it is a possibility that this black woman is helping him to unseat the mayor by playing along with this bullshit just because she don't like him. And
there was a podcast that I mentioned a few episodes a while back. It's called the Improvement Association. It's very, very worth listening to. And it speaks to the issue that Black political factions have in the South, trying to carve out spaces for themselves to protect their best interests, and how, sometimes historical alliances eventually break down. And it's really an important and very enjoyable analysis into how the racial dynamics play into Black, not disenfranchisement as much as Black tactics in order to preserve voices in these sorts of situations. And this sounds like more of the same. I mean, it is nakedly transparent. You can say it's just conjecture, but really it's just the playbook. If you have a popularly elected Black politician for the first time, your best chance to unseat him is when he comes up for election. And if you can turn half the population against him because you're accusing him of something nefarious and horrible, especially in Alabama, then you've just made it all the easier for yourself. And I don't know if Sister Girl is playing along, if Sister Girl knew that was coming, or if she's just unintended consequences or collateral damage or whatever. But I know it better have been something that went down in that parking lot later that evening, because
I'm not understanding it. Yeah,
there's even more. According to Eva, the chief of police recently said that that same mayor assaulted him by pushing him out of his office, and the surveillance tapes later proved that to be a lie. So they are gunning for this man.
Okay.
They are trying to discredit him, to cast aspersions on his character. They're doing everything they can think of to get him out of office however they can. They are.
I'm assuming white police.
Oh yeah,
white
of course.
Chief. Okay.
I would guess so. I mean, it is Alabama.
Right. And he just got in. So it's not like he's had any time to really do much of nothing. So O's gonna fay.
Man, it's really sad.
It is.
It's really sad to me that when you have someone who, I mean, because public office, it should be a place where you put people that want to help other people.
Right.
But so often people get in office to help themselves, to line their own pockets, and they stay in office for centuries in the case of Lindsey Graham, right?
Yeah.
And, little turtle meister. And then we wonder why we can't move forward. And then we lament our condition as a country. Yeah. And then we're mad at each other and we fight each other and they turn us against each other. And then we do the same shit all over again a decade later. And it's just sad. It's sad to me, and so I don't know this man's platform. I don't know this man from Adam's House Cat, but to see blatant lies, he pushed me out of his office. The recording says he didn't. He called her a house nigga. Would you please stand up? I mean, I can't imagine that this man was bold enough to try that without thinking that she was going to go along with it. It just, It feels so weird to me. That's more than balls, That's collusion.
Yeah.
And it's so, it's just crazy. That whole thing is crazy. But like Anthony says, this is America as it is. And it's going to continue to get worse until it gets better. I don't know when it's going to get better, though.
Well, just to flip it to end on a higher note, as opposed to ending on a white man who's trying to destroy the political legacy of a black man, I will just say it has been officially announced that LeBron James is the first black man to be a billionaire while still playing on the court. And I think that's a happy thing to close on, because in addition to everything that he's doing for the students of Akron and getting those scholarships for them, 1,300 something kids or whatever that are getting their college education paid for, and all of that. Plus, I know some people were hating on a movie where an animated basketball player plays with Looney Tunes.
Get over yourself.
I can't hate on it. It's an animated basketball player playing with Looney Tunes. And you know what? He was better as an animated character. His acting was stronger because the animators controlled what he looked like and how he said things. Look, it was a cash grab. I got it. LeBron James is animated because he can knock out his entire role in a day.
Mm-hmm.
I understand all of that. I know how the movie business works. I know how movie magic is made. People talking about, it's a Warner Brothers commercial. Great, because you've never seen a movie that had product placement. So you just didn't watch Mission Impossible or any James Bond film ever. You just don't pay attention to those things, right? Like magically.
We don't all know that James Bond drives an Aston Martin.
Right. And Tony Stark, for some reason, a billionaire industrialist, is pushing an Audi.
Yeah.
Right.
Really? An Audi? Oh, I guess they didn't pay $5 million for that to be Tony Stark's car. Watches, Coca-Cola conspicuously displayed on a diner counter. Apple laptops in every episode of Ted Lasso. Stop it. Ted Lasso is a great show, by the way. Amazing show on Apple Plus. Amazing show. My sister turned me on to that. She was telling me it's the best show, and I was like, "Oh, really? Isn't Ted Lasso and soccer and It's the writing is amazing. Lots of black characters. It's a really, really good show if you like Apple TV Plus. But we're talking about LeBron. LeBron is a billionaire.
Yes,
a billionaire.
And there's one more video I want to play because it feels good to me, and I want to remind y'all what to play, what to think about whenever somebody's hating on you.
Hoes mad, 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 hoes mad.
Yay. That makes me happy. I love her. I love her hair. And I love when she smiles while we singing Hoes Mad.
I know that we have now had 2 closing things, but I just want to see if y'all know what I'm doing right now and see if we can all, if you all can join in and get with it, okay?
For him.
Yeah.
Are we okay?
What's that?
So we had one Karen breakdown that she showed. We're not going to show this Karen breakdown, but you just look up, are we okay? Because a
TikTok,
Karen,
are we okay?
A TikTok, yeah, TikTok, are we okay? Basically, it was some brothers doing one of the things that little youngins do. They did this little coordinated arm move thing, this little thing. And so uninvited, you're uninvited and you got dragged for filth. Yeah, so she decided she was going to comment like, what is that? Are we okay? What was that shit? And then she kind of did a little mockery of the move, and then it cuts like this. It flips because 2 seconds later, she's like, okay, I'm so sorry. I didn't need anything by it. I got to go off social media now because you guys
minding your business is free all day long.
Free. No surcharge. No internet access fee. No gas tax. Minding your damn business costs you nothing ever.
Nothing.
And didn't nobody ask you to weigh in, Karen? Not a single one. With your cinnamon challenge ass. Stop it. Leave them alone and they'll leave you alone.
Right. Every time.
Every single time. And with that, I'm Tom Cunningham.
I'm Joy Stevens.
I'm Chuck Hobbs. Good night, y'all.
And we miss you, Sharon. Miss you much.
Definitely, Sharon. Good night, sis. Don't cuss us out.
Bye, Sharon. Peace.
Yeah, you know what time it is. Crack open that bottle of wine. Grab your favorite glass, pour a couple of fingers of scotch in it. Get that stick, light it, and blow. It's time to hang